guys, how's it going? It's me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do sold videos, I'll do unboxings, I'll do hauls, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So today is going to be a What's Sold Sunday video. I try and do these every week so I can tell you guys, what's selling quickly for me, what's selling slowly, what's kind of trendy, and patterns I've noticed. I will say this week was extremely slow. This was not a good sales week for me, but I am a part-time reseller, and I do mention a lot that, things do come up with my other job and just in life, and sometimes I have to, put less effort into reselling that particular week. And that just so happens to be what happened this week. It was a very busy week. My other job, we were doing inventory, so I was working a lot more hours. I actually had to work yesterday, Saturday, at 7:30 in the morning, so that was rough. But yeah, I still wanted to share the sales that I had with you guys this week, and I'm gonna try and go through it decently quickly today, just because, I have other things to do today. I'm trying to get my taxes done also, which fingers crossed I'll be able to do. I need to figure out if I'll have enough money afterwards to get my hair done, because that's why it's always up in a bun, because I cannot stand it anymore. But yeah. Do you guys like my mug? I got it on Depop. It was my first Depop purchase. So let's get into it. So this is from February 27th to March 5th. So the last couple of days of February and the first almost full week of March. So last Sunday, I only had one sale. It was a Christian Dior camel blazer, and this was actually a sale I made on the RealReal. So last week I mentioned I sent in a box to the RealReal, and I think sometime last week they started to actually accept and process the items. I said last week that out of the 16 items I sent in, they accepted all 16, but I was confused. They had received them all. They hadn't accepted them yet. They have now accepted all the items, but I was just so used to, with ThredUP, if you see the item up on their website, listed, you're like, oh, they accepted it, and they're gonna list it. But that's not the case. They put it up, but they have to still go through the whole authenticating process and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. This is my first box. But now everything is received. Not everything is listed yet. Some things have taken a very long time to get listed. But this was the first item they actually listed, and it sold like the next day. I think because it was 100% camel hair, which they didn't list it as. They said there was no material content, but they did post a picture showing the material content being 100% camel hair. But anyway, it sold for $40. After their commission fees, I only made $12, so that's not great. I will say that blazer was not in the best of condition. I probably just made my money back on that piece, but I am excited to send things into the RealReal to see whether or not they're gonna be worth picking up for me in the future to send to them at, a certain price point. Like if I pick it up from the bins and I send it in, it's almost probably always gonna be worth it if it sells. If I'm picking it up for $10, $15, like some of these things are just not gonna be worth it, and some things might be, so that was an exciting first quick sale on the RealReal. And on Monday the 28th, I had only one sale again. I sold these camper men's loafers. I've had these forever. I think probably a year and a half maybe. I don't think I picked them up for too much, maybe like $6 or $8 at a local thrift store. These took a very long time to sell. Campers are very expensive and sometimes can resell pretty well. These just sat for a long time. I was actually gonna send them into the RealReal, but then someone offered me $40 and I accepted, and after fees I made $32. Then on Tuesday the 1st, I had 4 sales. I sold this pair of Hannah Anderson rainbow overalls. I've been picking up a ton of Hannah Anderson recently because I pick it up at the bins. That's pretty much the only time I pick up kids things, though I do think I will start kind of skimming through the kids sections more now, since one of the things I did send into the RealReal was a Gucci girl sweater that I found like 2 years ago at the bins, and they have it listed for $155. And I'm not sure how much I'll make when it sells, but I'll probably make like 50% of that, so like 70 something dollars. So I think I'll probably skim through the kids section. Not saying I'm gonna find Gucci and designer brands, but who knows. But yeah, I've been picking up a lot of Hannah Anderson at the bins. I think that they're headquartered in Portland or somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, because I do find it quite often. I don't pick up everything, but if I think it's like, you know, extra cute or seasonally appropriate, I will. These sold for $11, and after fees I made $8.05. Then I sold these Stella McCartney Adidas collab 2-in-1 pants. I remember picking these up at Goodwill probably a year ago. These have sat for a while. I think I always list up the Stella McCartney Adidas collabs, but I just haven't had the best of luck selling it for a high dollar, but it always sells. I think I've sold everything that I've had listed. These were cute. I really like them a lot. I thought they'd sell for winter, but I guess, you know, they're selling now for that transition period. I picked them up for, I think, $10 at Goodwill. They wanted $20, but I found them half off, so I only picked them up for $10. They ended up selling for $40, and after fees I made $32. Then I had a flip consignment sale. I sold this Athleta Hanover sweater for somebody. This lot, I think I'm at the end of it. I'm gonna be sending it back sometime this week. So I'm glad to have, you know, finally completed a couple of lots with them and seeing if that's gonna help me be able to get, you know, more sought after lots. We shall see. But yeah, this sweater sold for $30, and after fees I made $24, and then after flip consignment fees I only made $9, which is kind of why I don't really want to be selling lots unless they have really good brands in them, unless I'm making like 60% commission, because after Poshmark fees that usually will give me half of whatever I made after fees. But when I do like 50%, I'm getting like much less because I have to take the fees out of my earnings. Then I had a ThredUP sale. I sent in this Coach red wallet. It was like leather. I got this in, I think, a ThredUP fun box a long time ago. It had a pen mark that I tried to get out that caused like the red leather to come off. So I guess I sent it back in and they listed it and somebody bought it. And I think even in the picture, maybe not here on this screen, but definitely in the listing on ThredUP when you can like see the picture better, you can see that that mark is still there. So I don't know. They only sold for $24.99, then after fees I'll make $4.38. And I was surprised I didn't get like an automatic payout for that, because I would think they would count that as like a purse, and purses you get automatically paid out. People can't return them, but maybe it's different for like accessories. Then on Wednesday the 2nd, I had 3 sales. I sold this Vineyard Vines men's button up. I got this recently at a Goodwill. I think I only paid, it was half off, so I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it, which is pretty cheap for my Goodwills. But then when I was taking photos, I didn't notice that there was a button missing on the cuff, which was disappointing, but it did end up selling for $20, and after fees I made $16. Then I sold these Cool women's hiking pant. Cool is the brand, Kuhl. People love to sell this brand. I haven't actually had the best of luck with it. I do not find it all the time. The first time I found it, I found 2 pieces at the bins, a little boy's piece and a woman's full zip hoodie. The boy's piece sold really well. It sold the same day, super quickly, for a really good price. That woman's piece, I couldn't get to sell for anything. I sent it away in a flip consignment lot and they haven't been able to sell it, so I'm sure I'm gonna get it back. These 2, I picked these up for I think like $10 at a Goodwill, again, maybe like a year ago. I had them listed for $60, which was probably a bit too high, but I'm always sending out offers and like willing to accept and negotiate. But this person offered me $25, and since I've just had them for so long with little interest, I did decide to accept, and then after fees I made $20. Then I had another ThredUP sale. I sold these Levi jeans. These probably came in some DIY denim box that I received at some point in the last 2 years. They ended up selling for $12.80, and after fees I made $1.54. And then on Thursday, that was actually my best selling day. I had 7 sales. I sold these Lucky Brand Ava skinny jeans. If you remember, you might have seen these in my video that I put out this last week of my denim DIY rescue box that I got from ThredUP. One of the only boxes that I still will probably get from ThredUP moving forward. I don't usually like to sell Lucky Brand, even their denim, unless there's something going for it, like they're really new and trendy. But since I got them in that box and I do know people like Lucky Brand, I decided to list them, and they did sell pretty quickly. They ended up selling for $15, and after fees I made $12. Then I sold these Bonobos men's shorts that I picked up at the bins recently this month. They're just a nice classic short that I think people do like, because they'll, you know, wear them for like parties and to the beach and for like nicer summer events. They're kind of preppy. You could probably even golf in them if you really wanted to. They sold for $26, and after fees I made $20.80. Then I sold these BOC lug leather sandals. These I've had for a long time. I think they did end up just selling now because they are, you know, trendier. I actually sold these last summer and I went to go ship them out and then the person canceled the order before I was able to ship them out, which is good. Good thing I didn't ship them out. But yeah, I think they are like a cuter, trendier sandal, but they're not like the best brand. And they weren't in like perfect condition or anything, so they did take a while to sell again. They ended up selling for $23, and after fees I made $16.68, and those came in a ThredUP shoe rescue box. Then I had a few more sales on the RealReal. Out of all the listings that they've had active, I think there was 7. I've actually sold 5 of them this week. So 7 got listed this week, and I've already sold 5. So that was very encouraging. One of the other things that sold was this Ula Johnson blouse. I picked this up at a Goodwill. It was the first time I've ever found it. Someone was hiding it in like the athletic wear section. I remember them not wanting too much for it, so I definitely profited on this piece. I don't think I paid more than like $8 for it. And it was cute, but I just felt like it had a lot of wear to it. It was like that eyelet material that can kind of get, not frayed, but I don't know, kind of like pilly, I don't know. But they listed it as excellent condition, so they must have thought otherwise. But it sold for $92, and a lot of these sales either sold on a discount that they were automatically applying to it or have like a coupon, I think for first-time buyers of like 20 or 25%, something like that. So a lot of these did sell on some sort of sale, which for just being listed isn't great, but I'm sure it's, you know, their method of getting things to sell, so at least they sold. But it sold for $92, and then after fees I made $37, which I'm actually pretty happy about. I do think I probably could have made more on my own if I continued to list it. I was just very scared of selling it and then the person being disappointed and like wanting to return it because it wasn't in good condition, and I would have felt really bad. Then the other thing I sold was this Jason Wu cocktail dress, which was gorgeous, and I really was not expecting them to list it so high. I've had this dress for a long time. There was one woman's 25-piece ThredUP rescue box that I received that had several designer pieces in it, and this was one of them. Another thing I got in that box was actually a pair of Philip Lim? Now I can't even remember. Silk pants, and I sent those away in a flip-flop, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get those back soon, but once I get them back, I'm definitely going to send them straight into the RealReal. But this dress, I think I sent into ThredUP, back to ThredUP at one point, and it didn't sell. And then I had a really hard time selling it, but they listed it, I think originally for $170. So I was like, oh wow, I was not expecting that. But it did end up selling. It sold again on a discount. It sold for $140.25. And once it gets paid out, I'll make $70. And I was actually really happy about that. That probably cost me like $4 or $5 in that box. And again, I've had it for a long time. A lot of the items that I sent to them this time around, I've either had for a really long time or it just hasn't been getting interest in my closet. So it's just nice to get to see what they're selling items for again. So if I do see them in the wild, I'll have more knowledge of whether or not it's going to be worth it to pick up to send to them. So it's kind of like a nice experiment. And then the last thing I sold on the RealReal on Thursday was a Lafayette 148 blazer. Now I do suggest if you find these blazers for like $1, send them in, or less, or just around that, because it'll probably be worth it. But this I remember picking up at a Goodwill and it's just got no attention. I've heard it was a really good brand, so I got really excited. I actually sent in 2 of these blazers. They're different, but this was the one that sold. It only ended up selling for $16, and after fees I'll make $18. And I do think that I profited a little bit from that, but not a lot. But again, better than a loss. And then the last thing I sold on Thursday was on Mercari. It was these Old Navy high-rise jeans. I got these recently at the bins. They were cute. They had a button fly front. They were cropped. I thought they'd be cute for the spring. They sold for $15, and after fees I made $12.76. And then on Friday the 4th, I had 2 sales. I sold these New Attack compression socks that I received again in a ThredUP fun box before Christmas for sure. Because I remember these being kind of more like holiday. They're like little dogs and sweaters. That was the print on them. But someone offered me 10 and I decided to accept. If I'm choosing to sell the socks in the ThredUP rescue boxes, specifically the fun boxes, it's because they take up 0 space in my inventory room. this is not the first pair of socks I've sold, and like if I can get $7 for them, I think that that's a decent profit. I'm sure I probably made my money back from whatever box they came in, but yeah. Sell for 10 and after fees I made $7.05. Then the other thing I sold on Friday was a pair of Levi's black cutoff shorts. These shorts I made myself. I will collect Levi's and there's like other kind of older 100% cotton jeans like Wranglers or some vintage Tommy Hilfiger or stuff like that. And I even did Carhartt jeans that I found at the bins. I'll collect them, and then once I have enough, I'll just make them into cutoff shorts myself and then sell them. These sold for $27 and after fees I made $19.88. And then yesterday, I had 4 sales. 2 of them were on ThredUP. One were these Free People khaki shorts, not cute at all. I think I got these in a Jomar box, so definitely over a year ago I received these, or a ThredUP rescue box, one of the two. They were not cute. I was not gonna sell them myself. They ended up selling for $13.60 and after fees I made $1.73. And the other thing I sold were these American Rag boots. I think I got these in a ThredUP shoebox actually, and I sent them back in. They sold for $28.99 and after fees I'll make $5.66. And then the one thing I sold on Poshmark yesterday were these Free People distressed jeans. And if you saw my DIY denim box that I put out last week, I was talking about these jeans, how I received these in like a denim DIY box I got probably 6-7 months ago. And I'm like, they're so cute, but they haven't moved. No one's offering me anything. Like I know I have them priced high, but they're like really cute. This person offered me $50 and I was like, there you go. So I accepted. And after fees I made $40. And then the last thing I sold was on the RealReal. It was this Isabel Marant silk blouse and it sold for $76 and after fees I made $23. Now this blouse I received in probably like one of the first ThredUP boxes I've ever received like 2 years ago. It was in a 25-piece women's rescue box. And so I've had it for a long time, tried to sell it on my own, got decent attention, sent it into ThredUP, didn't sell, I got it back, again listed on my own. It was so cute and it was silk and this brand can do absolutely amazing. So I was a little bit disappointed when I realized they were gonna market so low. I think they originally listed it around $95 and anything under $100, you'll make a 30% commission on. So it was disappointing, but again, I've had it forever. I really can't complain. Making $23 on it, I definitely profited, but I probably could have sold it myself for less and made at least twice as much as that, but it's all learning about how the RealReal works, and I do really love the website. I think they take absolutely gorgeous photos. Like every time they finally upload a photo of one of my items, I'm like, oh my God, that looks so good. And I get really excited just seeing out, you know, the prices they list things at and, you know, how much I might make. I'm super excited. I sent in 2 really nice pairs of leather boots, a pair of Todd's boots that my mom actually found and sent to me. Hi, Mom. They were a size 10 and I'm not even a size 10 and I had a hard time getting them on. So I didn't feel super comfortable selling them myself because again, I didn't want someone to get them and be disappointed, but they are gonna list them. And a pair of Acne like knee-high leather boots that I got at Goodwill probably a few months ago now that I picked up for like maybe $12 and they're gonna list them and I'm so excited to see what they list them at. I mean, watch them list them for like 70 and I make 20, but I think they'll list them pretty high and I'm very excited. So hopefully they'll list them this week and I can update you guys. Maybe they'll sell. How exciting would that be? But yeah, let me know if you guys have experience selling on the RealReal or if you want to get into it. I think it's really exciting. They do take brands that aren't just like top tier designer brands. I've heard they'll take Frame and Current Elliott. So if you do tend to find those brands for cheap, maybe send them in. Maybe that'd be a good thing. I know I do not find like designer brands all the time. I happen to get them a lot of the times in ThredUP rescue boxes over the years, and occasionally I'll find some good ones at the bins. But yeah, I'm just excited to try it out. It's always fun doing something new and seeing how things work. But yeah, I almost forgot to tell you guys what I made this week. It's not anything too exciting, but my gross total for this week was $820.63. which in theory sounds very good. But after fees of $401.10, which is pretty much half, because of the commission fees that I made on the RealReal sales, the fees end up being a lot higher. And all the ThredUP sales I made this week and the flip consignments fees, they just add up. So after those fees, I ended up netting $419.53. So honestly, nothing terrible. I'm still pretty happy. I know this week was busy. I'm hoping I can do better these next few weeks, getting things listed and staying on top of things. As I mentioned kind of recently, last March, like the March of last year, that was my best sales month that I've ever had. So I want to work really hard, and I'm hoping that people are purchasing again, you know, for spring break that's going to be coming up and all that good stuff. So fingers crossed that happens. Let me know how your sales weeks have been. Have they been picking up? Have they been slowing down? I kind of noticed at the beginning of every month, my sales have kind of slowed down. And I do think people kind of set this thing for them, like, okay, this month I'm not going to spend as much money, or this month I'm not going to spend any money on myself, you know, then eventually they do. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, let me know how your sales weeks have been. I hope you guys have a great time sourcing and selling this week, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.